And there she is, Johst Saayman. Welcome to Multi-Marketing. How are you this evening?
Well, and you.
I'm wonderful. Thanks for asking. So, like I was explaining to everybody, you are a first-time featured in the Multi-Marketing Anthology, but you do have other books as well. But for everybody who's watching right now, just give us a short introduction of yourself. Who is Johst Saayman? Am I pronouncing that right?
That is perfect. No worries. Well, I am turning 40 this year and extremely excited about it. But I started writing a few years back, um, evidently when it was COVID in the country. And before that, I was actually teaching English for many, many, many years. And then I decided that I would like to go with my husband overseas. He's working up in Africa. And I had a lot of time on my hands to do other things, so I decided to do the writing.
So is that your first experience with writing, or did it start earlier on in life?
I would say it started earlier because I wanted to be a journalist initially when I went to university. But then the options weren't available where I stayed, so I actually have my honors in English, but the language side of it.
Okay, so in the multi-marketing anthology, you have two short stories here. One is called The Drink of Life, and the other is called True Love. Just give us a brief idea of what those short stories are about.
Well, Drink of Life is about a son that goes to find his father drinking once again in a bar. And the twist of the story is that his father has dementia and has no idea who he is. So he divulges some of the secrets and the memories that he has of his family while his son is sitting next to him having a drink with him. And then the True Love story is about a 15-year-old girl who's giving up her baby for adoption. And she needs to make tough life decisions in a grown-up world where she shouldn't have been in this position in the first place. And I know it seems like very grim stories, but I do like to place focus on something that most people regards as a bad thing and show the silver lining at the end of it.
Okay, and just a little side story about your short stories. One of the members of the judging panel and myself actually are huge fans of Quentin Tarantino. And when we read your short stories, we likened the storytelling to the filmmaking of Quentin Tarantino, just the style of dialogue and the way in which things are revealed, the camera panning over in your mind. That kind of stuff just, it was really quite intriguing to us as fans of Quentin Tarantino's work. Your storytelling was more along the same lines of that, so that was quite interesting to see. So with your short stories and just in general your writing, who is your writing aimed at, and what do you hope people will gain from after having read your work? What do you want people to walk away with?
You know, I want to say it's aimed at readers in general, but the truth is I'm aiming my stories at anyone who is tired of pretending to be okay. I want people to read my stories and actually feel that they can look at the worst parts of themselves and still feel worthy and still know that they have everything that they can get from someone else because they have love from other people. They are not alone in the world. And even though they've made mistakes, it does not make them less of a person.
Indeed. So, although you are featured for the first time ever in the multi-marketing anthology this year, you do, as I mentioned, have other works outside of multi-marketing. Just give us a quick rundown of what your other works are and where people can find them.
Well, I have two other stories available in South African verses. Then I also I'm working on an Afrikaans short story bundle as well. But I am a dark romance writer that writes under the pen name of Kaz Luan. And over the course of the year, I think I'm releasing about 10 short stories, and I'm releasing a novel end of June.
Okay, that's quite interesting. You mentioned your pen name, Kaz Luan. And in the multi-marketing anthology, you go by your real name, which is Johst Saayman. Can you explain to us why you chose to go by your real name in the anthology and what inspired the pen name of Kaz Luan?
The pen name is inspired because Luan means moon, and my mother refers to me as her moon child. But the pen name is mostly because when you write romance, you need a name that's easier to remember and easier for readers to find again. But when I write the short stories, I leave a little bit of myself behind. And I wanted people to know me more intimately, and that's why I chose to use my real name when writing these type of stories.
Okay, so you mentioned you've got some short stories coming out, you've got a novel coming up. What do you want to achieve in future? And can readers of your work who like what they read in South African verses, in the anthology, can they expect to see more work in the future even after you've released your novel?
Oh, absolutely. This is going to be a full-time thing for me because there is no bigger joy in my life at the moment than writing. I am writing from 8 till 5 every day, not because I have to, but because it makes me feel whole. It makes me reach higher steps in my life personally, with the people I'm interacting with, the people I enjoy meeting in this line of work. There is nothing like it. So for this inspiration to keep going, I need to give little pieces of myself every day in my writing. So there is no way that I'm going to stop. This is just the first step. And of course, I'm grabbing every single opportunity that comes my way. So even if I need to write throughout the night, if the deadline is tomorrow, I will have a story to hand in tomorrow.
Wow, that is dedication. It's so refreshing to see someone who treats writing as a full-time career. I mean, the only other author that I've come across in my personal life is Kim Bagshaw, and she released a book, I think, 4 years ago. She's working on a series of trilogies right now, so it's absolutely incredible to see another author who treats it as a full-time gig. So when you got published for the first time and you're being published, like you said, in the multi-marketing anthology, in South African verses, you've got a novel, you've got dark romance out there. How have people around you reacted to you being published so many times over?
You know what? Initially, in the beginning, I didn't tell everybody. I told my family, and of course, they were ecstatic. But um, it is kind of difficult to have your father read your romance book, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But in the end, I am doing this for myself. So I do not really need the validation of others. As long as my family is happy, you will know I bought some books for my father and my mother as well, because I share this writing with them, even though it's not really their cup of tea sometimes, they are still proud of me. So the validation that I need to get, I get from myself, for being proud of myself and for knowing that the piece of me that I set out in the world will be valuable to someone, even if it's just one person.
Yeah, indeed. So with South African verses, I believe it's published by Sakura Publishing, multi-marketing anthology with multi-marketing. Your dark romance, was it self-published or did you go through a publishing company?
Now, that one is self-published through Kindle, but I must admit I had an incredible team working with me. I would not have been able to do it with these people. They are knowledgeable in this area. They know exactly what to do. And without their guidance, I probably would not have been at this stage of my life with that novel.
Indeed. So when it comes to the anthology, how was your experience with multi-marketing, working with us in putting your work and getting it out there in this multi-marketing anthology?
Well, to be honest with you, I did not expect my work to be accepted. So the initial reaction of seeing that was completely overwhelming. But I must say that it was such a lovely experience to have someone so knowledgeable and experienced that takes the work, does everything for you, and just leads you on the right path. Because as a writer, I think that is the most difficult for me to accept, that I don't really have the knowledge and the skills to get my work out there, and I don't know where to start. Where with multi-marketing, the process was so simple. It was communication from the beginning. I didn't need to worry about anything. There was no delays. There wasn't anything that bothered me about leaving my work in someone else's hands.
We appreciate the confidence, and like multi-marketing, we say we are just the shepherd for the hold of the pen. You are the hold of the pen, and we just guided it right to the end, to the finish line. You now, as a published author multiple times over, what advice would you give to other up-and-coming or aspiring writers out there?
I would say you grab anything. If there is something that you need to write in a different genre, you try it. Even if your story doesn't get accepted, at least you tried. Just perhaps this is something that inspires a whole new line for you or inspires a whole new story for you. You never know what opportunity is the one that's going to get you to the level where you need to be. So grab everything that comes your way, write anything you need to do to get your story in and out there in someone else's hands. Do not be discouraged when it doesn't work the first time.
So where can people find you online? I know you do have it here in the anthology, but for those who don't have a copy at the moment, where can they find you online?
Yeah, as I mentioned before, they need to look for my pen name, so they can look under Kaz Luan on Facebook, Kaz Luan author on TikTok. I also have a website where I show all of these stories and all of the anthologies that I've recently wrote stories for, so they can look on my website under kazluan.com and on Instagram under Kaz Luan author as well.
Now, we did mention, we asked you beforehand to pick an excerpt from your book to read out, just to give people out there a taste of what they can expect when they read your work in the Multi-Marketing Anthology 2025. So without any further ado, Kaz, please take it away.
No, you are right. It is a constant battle in my marriage as well. My wife never understood. This is taking a new, unexpected turn. I lift my hand to order him another drink. The train has already left the station, right? What exactly did your wife not understand? Did you hate your life that much that you would hide here from it? The incredulous look on his face almost brings a smile to mine. Are you stupid or something? Do you honestly think a man like me would be hiding from a woman and his son? His drink spills. What other conclusion can I come to if you tell me that you come here daily? My hands are raised in defeat, but that only angers him more. Listen here, young blood. You might not have been on this earth long enough to know, but the devil lies amongst us. And once you have shaken his hand and made friends with your demons, there is no turning back.
So before we wrap this up, Kaz, any last words you have for all of our viewers who are watching?
If you want an opportunity, please consider multi-marketing. They have been great in my author experience. And I would like to thank you guys for reading my stories and accepting it. It's always wonderful when it's in the right hands to get to people and the right readers. So thanks once again for having me.
And thank you, and to all the authors who participated and are now can say that they are printed within the pages of the Multi-Marketing Anthology 2025, our 4th annual edition, and we are going to do it again next year, and hopefully Kaz will be in the 2026 edition as well. You never know. So thank you everyone for watching. I'm sorry, you wanted to say something?
I'm already starting to write the stories for next year.
Wow, that's super dedication. I appreciate that. So, guys, thank you for watching, and thank you to Kaz for giving us a few minutes of her time this evening to talk to us about her writing journey and her stories. Like I said, head on over to mmstore.co.za, get yourself a copy, and until I see you guys down the road for Kaz, I'm the director of multi-marketing, Noshad Khan, and we will see you guys down the road. Peace.